GBZ1 here, and today I'm going to show you guys how to optimize a explosive skill build, which is a seeker mine cluster and the artillery turret. The reason why this combination is so good is because it can definitely wipe out a groups of enemy, especially in heroic and legendary where there's an insane amount of NPC if you're a 3 or 4-man group. The reason why you want to do this one in your part of your group is because you can easily wipe insane amount of NPC, but make sure that you get overcharged first and use a seeker mine as your first attack rather than your artillery. The reason why is because when you're using a seeker mine first, you will get that insane amount of damage because they don't move, and you can easily wipe them out if all your seeker mines clumped up together and do 2 to 3 times or probably more than the amount of damage. And this is what it looks like having a optimized skill build. And in case wondering why I'm using 2 shotguns instead of the rifle with spike, well, we'll talk about that later. But first, for your 6-piece gear, you need 2 Hana, 2 China, 1 Wyvern, and exotic backpack. You want to have it with 6 tier on your core. All of them with skill damage and skill haste for attributes, and mod skills, you don't want to have some skill haste on them. So now let's go back to those shotguns. The first shotgun I'm using is called the Send-Off. The reason why you want to wear this is because the perfect rooted, which increases your skill damage by 30% for 15 seconds while using a cover. The reason why this one is so good is that you can even use your main weapon and it can still proc by using a cover. But make sure that you use the cover all the time. If you don't use the cover, and if you leave that cover, your buff will disappear. You can craft this shotgun in your crafting station. Just go in there and look at this shotgun if you already have it. But if you don't have it, just go to Tactician. Check your Tactician field research and just go to number 4 to check it if you haven't done it. So do those ones first if you want to get this shotgun. Now, for the Sweet Dreams. Sweet Dreams is been changed since this update. This one does when you melee an NPC, if it's not elite, you can definitely just one-shot them. You can get this shotgun in any of this outcast name boss in open world. By looking at this one, look at that legendary mission, I can just go in there and just punch them and just retreat after. So let's talk about this backpack. The reason why this backpack is must have in your build is because of the overcharge. By throwing grenade, you will get that overcharge and do insane amount of damage. For the turret, this is the artillery one. It will definitely give you more ammo, more damage, and more radius, including more health on your artillery. So this is the example on the tier 6. This is without the overcharge. Even so, it's still good. The region is it's big and tier 6. But watch closely on the overcharge skill. Look how huge that was. So imagine there's a bunch of NPCs in that location. You can definitely just melt them really fast. And for the cluster seeker mines, this will give you insane amount of damage. Not just because it increased by 20% more and more cluster, it's because of that radius. Check this clip out. Look how huge those radius when all those NPC are together. So imagine there's a lot of NPC together, so you just multiply those things together. To get this backpack, you can get it from any of the faction chests by just opening them. And there you go. Get this thing. And to use those artillery, you have to have a demolition as your specialist. Because if you're not using that specialist, you can't use this artillery. Because it's a special skill only specifically for demolition specialists. And what's good about this one is it's also increasing your skill damage by 10%. It's also affect your grenades, etc., etc. And also it gives you that one immune against explosive for 60 seconds. You can use any skills you want for your chest piece. You can use the skill for 25% reset on skill cooldown. But my favorite is kinetic momentum. That's what I use when I'm using solo. Even with group though. But you can be like a team player by using a Overwatch. You can also even use a glass canyon if you wanted to, but it's just kind of risky, so just use that for a group. But Overwatch is must to have if you're in a group, because you usually just stay in the cover most of the time. Well, that's pretty much everything about this build. I'm pretty sure I covered everything, but just in case that I missed something, and if you have a question, feel free to write something in a comment. Also, feel free to join my Discord if you have more questions about the division. I'll gladly to answer all your questions and stuff like that. Well, don't forget to leave a like, and that's pretty much it for me. I'll see you guys soon. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.